So, I've been doing a lot of meditation and self-development work before KAP. In 2015-16, I started to do mindfulness meditation. I was listening to Eckhart Tolle. I was listening to all kind of audiobooks about, shamanism, the Four Agreements, The Alchemist, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, all those stuff, right? And all of them that have value, like they all have really incredible value. But then I noticed that I could not always deal with whatever was happening. I could always be aware and stay present with whatever was happening, but I couldn't really decide when it's time to sink deeper. I couldn't really decide when it's time to take things to a next level. I couldn't decide when it's time to drop something, to release something. It was like with some of the things, like whenever I had a direction for myself, an intention, like I want this, I want that, I would feel this heaviness that I was still carrying with me. And I realized like I have to do a lot of work to let that go. I have to be constantly present. It always reminds me of how tiresome this is making me. And so I've done ayahuasca also, and it did give me a lot of great experiences. And I've also done 5-MeO, DMT, and it also gave me a lot of great experiences. But they were mostly opening my awareness to new ways of functioning, new ways of perceiving, but not necessarily allowing me to work with whatever I had. And I never knew how to do shadow work, how to work on yourself truly, like how to uncover deep patterns. And when I came to KAP, I was so blown away, because the moment you step into KAP, it's like the intelligence, the non-dual intelligence. It guides your own kundalini energy to, firstly, when people are new to KAP, what you see is they release a lot. Release guilt, release shame, release anger, release grief. They keep releasing, forgiving, understanding, recontextualizing the relationship with themselves, recontextualizing the relationship with the world around them. Things are shifting in their life. And like every session, something happens. Every session, a new depth or a new emotion or a new pattern is worked out. And what's really great about this is that you go to a session, you work through something, and you're done with it. You're done with it, right? So one of my friends, he had done ayahuasca and 5-MeO also. And when he did that, he had these mixed feelings that were very confusing and were causing an aftermath, like months after the session, right? And it was causing him a lot of inner struggle. With KAP, when he went to KAP, what he noticed was, the moment I went there, I released so much, and when I came outside, I felt I'm alive, I'm whole, I'm complete, everything's good. He let that stuff go. He felt letting that stuff go. And a lot of people say that, I feel like coming home. I feel like I let stuff go that was important to me. And because it happens on an energetic level, you don't have to do the thinking process to look at some situation or some pattern or some kind of grievance and think like, why did this happen? What did it mean? Why did they do it? What is the cause of them? Were they conscious? Who's to blame here? Who's not to blame here? What is my, like go through all these things to understand. All that can be just bypassed. Not always, because there are some sessions where things come up from your unconscious pattern, from your unconscious, things come up, and then during the integration time, you have to work with it. It's like it's given to you so that you can feel it through and embody it and let it go. And what I really loved about the KAP sessions, and this is truly like, holy moly, like So because the sessions are gradually building up, so the session starts off smooth, calm, builds up in intention, becomes more tense, more tense, more tense, and then it goes down and becomes very quiet, mellow, loving, warm, light, open, gentle. And at the end, like the last 5-10 minutes, this happens almost every session. Almost every session. What happens is the facilitator, they come around and they do something like, or they do like finishing touches on you. And then what you feel is, you feel this in-stream of love in your body. And it's like there's this cup of love, or this river of love that's being like thrown into your heart. And your heart is like being filled with love. And it's, at a certain point, it's overflowing. And you just feel this, you feel this complete opening of your heart and release. And you feel so grateful. You had this, I had this feeling that no feeling in the world is better than this. Your heart is full with love and it's overflowing. Like I can cry from that feeling. Jesus Christ, it's so good. It's so, just that feeling alone, to get that, right? And it only cost, like the session usually cost about $50, 50 euros. It's like, it's so worth it. Like, to have a heart full of love and feel it overflowing. I mean, holy moly, I wish that all the people in the world can experience this feeling. This is such a profound feeling, and it almost happens every session at the end. Not with everybody, and not always, but it does reappear and does come back. And I've heard people talk about this, because you're home, you're centered, and your heart center, when your heart center is open, like some people, their heart center is a bit closed, but then they have like these sessions where they feel their heart almost being broken open. So if the heart center was closed before, they literally feel, and they've expressed, I was afraid that my heart center was breaking, that I felt it was just breaking open, and it's almost painful because it was so locked and closed. And then you feel this sensitivity, you feel this gentle openness, and you feel this in-stream of love energy and warmth, and you're just so full of it that you can, like, you're so in love with life at that moment. You're so in love with the process, and I mean, you feel so grateful to the facilitator. Now, this is also something that can happen. Don't make the mistake of projecting on the facilitator like they are the source of those feelings, like they are the source of your experiences. Because what I saw was, sometimes people can start to, project or idolize facilitators. So don't fall into that trap.